Okay. I think it's got it working. I think it's working, yeah. Okay. I think we're live. Oops. Oh, that might actually be a good idea. Actually, yeah, if anybody's interested, bring them in too. Does everything sound okay so far? Audio levels are good. Not too much background noise. I think I've got this set up right. Okay. Wait for at least for a few more to show up. I could have chose a better chair to sit in, but this will hold me for now. Okay. I'm wondering if... Okay. It's giving me some stream errors, but it's... if everything's good. Okay. Alright, I gotta figure out... I'm actually just kind of winging it right now. I just got everything badly rigged up under the table, just enough to get me going for today, so... gosh, I should have wrote stuff down that I needed to talk about, but typical me. I guess, as you know, I call myself Foamie Ninja. I picked that name up, oh gosh, I think it was mid-2015, just shortly after the second Flight Fest. It was due to a design that I drew up that had an excessively good flight characteristics. I figured, you know, it seems like this'll stick. But that's pretty much how the name started. It was either that or a couple other ones that weren't so catchy. But yeah, move that over there. I might want to wait for a few other ones to join in before getting into it too far. Make sure this thing's still working. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's only, well, just the two of us right now, actually. So, yeah, let me know if you can get a hold of them and get them to get the FTCC guys to maybe join in, or a few others. I don't know what I should. I want to dry out prematurely. Okay. There's still no one else joining yet. Yeah, I think I posted some stuff in different places, but I didn't exactly, I probably could have done a little better with my layout and stuff, but yeah, I'm not known for being a planner to that degree. Chaos drives my ideas, so that's kind of a double-edged sword. But anyways, I guess I could jump into some of the other stuff I had at least set out. I actually had plans to get the SU-31 somewhat together. As long as that camera up there doesn't glitch out on me, I should be good. Pull it off the wall. Got this thing anyways. It's half a million years old. Table. Too much junk down here. I gotta move all this stuff out there. Put that down there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'll get started on the SU-31 while I'm ranting about stuff. Let me switch this over as long as it doesn't glitch out. There we go. Should work pretty well. Let me see if I can get that. Okay. Flip this thing over. Yeah, this is one of the old Kyosho SU-31s. I actually picked this thing up back in, gosh, maybe mid-2004. It was probably my all-time favorite sport craft. It was discontinued not too long ago. Small glow deal. It's an OS-46 in it, in fact. She's a good flyer overall. Flip this over. I already yanked some of the crap out of it. Should sit up long enough for me to pick those up. I don't know of anybody nowadays that uses the old wood push rods for wooden extensions. It's actually got a steel push rod with an L bend in it and heat shrinked over. A little bit unusual by today's standards, but yeah. Well, these servos are about 15, 16 years old, so it's about time I change them out. Kids, you can never have too many tools. You can't find what you're looking for. You know you might have gone a little too far. Yank these things up. I think the wood's actually starting to mold too. It's been hanging for so long. It's actually kind of surprising too. Actually, you know what? I could switch that over. It's alright. Yeah, I've always been partial to Futaba hardware and stuff. Good quality stuff, Japanese manufactured components and all the good stuff. So. Reset the tail. Dealing with screws is half the fun part. Oops. Except when that happens. Get off these things. Oops. They actually sound like they're in decent condition despite sitting for so long. It's that one. That works just as well. I'll eventually have to change that rod in there before it completely rots out. Speaking of rotten, dry rot. Yeah, have a look. I could actually switch over to the other one. These engines haven't been cleaned in years either, actually. the servo out for that. This is relatively permanent, I think. This is actually an ARF when I got it, I believe. It came in both a kit and almost ready to fly form. I need to replace the cowl on it if I can find one. It's all cracked. But she's otherwise in good condition. Screws up, keep them separate. The hardware for the other motor to be mounted in quite yet, so I may have to do that later. I can at least disassemble the majority of it. Need a bigger table. So, yeah. Quickly just pop this other one out and then move everything back into place. There. Let's see if I can get the nose cone off of this thing. It's easy with a screwdriver. I don't know if that's long enough to reach in there or not. Pop this one out. I think I could actually do this. Do that. I should be able to. Make it a little easier to see what I'm doing, I believe. Okay. Get this nose cone off here. It's actually, yeah, I guess they still use nose cones to some degree on the smaller electric stuff, but it was pretty much commonplace for glow and gas. Yeah, something to yank this off of here rather quickly. Gosh, all the years of grit and goo that's got this thing bound up. Wow, that's that may not be coming off actually. I have to get my good crap. Big wrench out for that. I don't even know if I've got one down here. Okay. Gonna have to hope it hasn't friction welded itself on. That'd be my luck, but stuff I would. I guess I can at least put the other servos in it for now. I'll yank on that thing later. Everything else is good. Maybe pull the rod out. And throttle linkage out. Do that. Curious if I still use these things. It's actually one of my more favorite mounting methods for servo horns. It actually has a plastic piece that clamps over the rod, goes between the rod and the servo head, keeps it snapped in place. Convenient for quick removal. I have the other servos and stuff in this box. Okay. I think let me. Oops. Here we go. Gosh. Okay. Old switch harness for. Well, If that hasn't frozen enough too, actually. There we go. Back in the day, this wing actually bolts on. You can actually power the system on via the separate onboard battery without having to take the wing off, which was convenient. So, okay. Wish I had a way to do that. Okay. I do have to get that nut off of there by the looks of it. I can't really do anything else with it until I don't have my sockets and stuff down here, I don't think. To crank on it with a pair of pliers. Technical difficulties. Why on earth is it that tight? There we go. Okay, that was easier than expected. Alright. Let's see. You put this back down here. Hold few port. Okay. Easier done than said. Alright. Pull that stuff off. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. She's a beauty though. Back in the day that was one of the hottest engines of its size. Gunked up and kind of abandoned. Let's see if I can pop the engine mounts off of here rather quickly. I'm going to need a big screwdriver to get that off of there. These are probably torqued in decently well. I wonder if those have a... I'm sure there's a nut on the other side, or they mounted them with blind nuts. That may be an option as well. I want to take the whole mount off. I can always put the mount back on if I need it, I guess. But oops. Oh, okay. Not too big of a deal. Lots of metal on metal wise over here, but okay. Need to keep that to a minimum. Come on. The other two on the other side. Pull the fuel lines, the fuel tank. Take the muffler off to get to this one. That might be okay. Almost there. The home stretch. Okay. Pull the exhaust line, intake line. These are on there rather tightly. There we go. Get the line off of the carb. Oh gosh, yeah, this thing's completely locked up. You can tell it hasn't been running what looks like 1,000 years, actually. Crud buildup along the whole lining of the carb. This thing's probably going to have to be disassembled and soaked before it's ever usable again. So, yeah, surprisingly, it still turns relatively freely, so maybe it won't be too bad after all. Okay. Should have brought some towels down here too. Pull the fuel line and the fuel tank out. I kind of feel bad doing this actually, because this was originally a glow only aircraft, but times have changed. And my quick connect is not coming off. That's beautiful. I have to take it off at the three-way just to get it out. Oops, there we go. Just do that. Get the fuel lines off the tank. Come on. Just do that. Okay. Excessive amount of foam. That's not even glued in, so that's good. No longer need a throttle linkage since it's going to be all electric anyways. Is that a 6 ounce? Heck, it's even gummed up. You can tell. Yeah. The old padding and stuff's falling apart. Kind of a sad situation. I'm sitting here in the basement for, gosh, quite a few years without even being run. I think I only had it up in the air the first year or two that I've had it with me. Okay. Takes care of pretty much all of the... Should give me enough room to mount a battery in there, I do believe. Get rid of this stuff because this is... I'll have to give me some new foam. This stuff's shot. Set this back down. Just a moment. And see if anyone else has jumped in. Oh, is the audio still kind of funky? Oh, we got another guy in here too. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I may have flipped the video feed too. I may have to switch that back. Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be my... It was a pretty quick setup, so I may have something causing some noise in the lens somewhere. Okay, pick all these screws up and get all this stuff out of the way. This stuff somewhere. Servos I'll repurpose for something a little bit less important. Okay. I was glad you were able to come on the stream for a while though, Flum, so I think your presence helped my nerves quite a bit, so that's always a good thing. So switch back. Problem with wireless hardware is you always misplace the hardware But yeah, I'm actually going to switch it up. I got a brushless system I'm going to throw in it. 1.5 kilowatts should get me off the ground quite quickly, so yeah. Looking at Turnigy 5055. Let me see. But yeah, about 2 horses. So probably gonna have to increase my propeller diameter because it was originally running 11.8 on the OS engine, but I can probably get away with a 12.8, maybe a 13.8 on 6 cells if I'm careful. But yeah, we shall see how it goes though. I think I'm looking at a peak of around 13,000 RPM, so that should put me in the ballpark of where I need to be. Should have all my mounting hardware and stuff too, I believe. Go back to switch this some time ago off of a friend of mine. Brand new in the box. I figured I'd make some good use of the hardware. That's for some of those like good stuff. Put it to good use because I've looked online forever for either a Futaba TM7 or TM8 module. I can't find them anywhere. And if you do find one, they want $300 or $400 for it. So it's like, yeah, not worth it when you've got an alternative solution. Is it clipping? Let me see. Turn this down a bit. Turn my gain down just a tiny bit. Maybe that's what's doing it. Is that a little bit better? Not sure if I don't know if it helped the audio any, but does it sound a little clearer? A little bit. What would be causing that? Static in the system. Give me 2 moments. I hope I don't break something. I might have to switch this out rather quickly. Give me 1 moment. There we go. It probably doesn't sound much better though. Is that, well, at least it works, but is that any better, or is that just as crappy? Well, that's interesting. Okay, that'll work there. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll switch to that one for a while. That's my, that's actually the stereo mic and my camera, so. I don't know what's going on with my, my other one. Like the other microphone that I normally use, it's got a tube amplifier, but I think it might be getting some age on it. I might be needing to pull it apart and do some work on it, but yeah, that's for another day. Okay, let's see if I can make it a little easier to see. I set up a little 5:4 display, so there's really no room to see everything that's going on the screen at the same time. There we go, that helps a little bit. Now I can see everything. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Yes. Brand new, actually it comes with Servo as a receiver, battery. Okay. What I probably should do is switch to the other mic for that, but this will work for now. Okay. Yeah, I only need this. I don't need this right now. Plug these. Yep, I've always been, always been fond of Futaba hardware. This is one of the 617s. It's one of their, as far as I know, one of their mainstream receivers. They make a 7-channel version and an 8-channel version, I believe. It uses their old fast protocol, which is now being phased out by their new fastest protocol, but and these, I actually don't know too much about these. They're Futaba digitals, so they should be decently good for centering and for resolution. They're 3152s. These should be a nice addition for the system, though. Wow, I haven't seen a wheel that big in a long time. Okay. I don't know if I want to keep the. Oops. Put that back there. Make sure they all actually work. First off, never leave home without one of these. Servo Tester always comes in handy. Gosh. The lights on this one are particularly unbearable, but it works well enough for what. Not the quickest. Okay. A little bit slower than some of the other servos I've handled. Let's center all these up and I'll install them in the airframe real quick. It's got a case of twitches. Okay. Okay, that one's good. I'll put the receiver in the box. Oh, it even comes with an extension. Switch. I don't need the switch. Okay. I can use the old Servo Horns unless they're cracked or otherwise. I'll look and see what they've got in here. Okay. Well, that's impressive. Don't know what you'd need something like that for, though. I wonder if I can move this just a little closer without disturbing the system too much. we go. Makes it a little easier to hear me over here on this side. Okay. Yeah. Okay, screwdriver. Pop the heads off of these rather quickly, and this is the twitchy one. Okay. Pop this one out. Okay. Go ahead and get this all set. I've actually found something really interesting about the whole experience. After just having some time to settle in and get acclimated to the setup and stuff, your nerves kind of naturally calm down. That's a good sign, I think. So, I can't tell you how much I stressed over doing this initially. Just the thoughts of it scared me quite a bit, but it actually doesn't feel so bad now. I'm calming down, so it's a good thing. Okay, let's see. I need what size is that? Okay. Just need some single-sided ones. I think I can. If I can get, might try to keep both sides of the horn on it in case I need it for something else. Let's see, which one was there's one that had a little dip in it. Let me make sure I don't. Okay. That one? Not that one. That one's okay. I'll use this one, and it's got a little one. Center that back up. Put this one off to the side. Okay. I'll use those two for that. Okay. Come on. Unplug. Alright. Drop this on. What's really annoying is you can never get the servo heads aligned perfectly. They're always off by about just that much, one side or the other. But, okay. I'll just trim it up. It works well enough for that. So. Okay. Those installed. I wonder if I'm going to need to drill those out. What size of wire is that? Pick all these up now. I need to clamp these in here too while I'm thinking about it. Drop the grommets and stuff in there. These are always fun to push in because they tend to bind up on the. Hey, that's interesting. Oh, it's got a closed end. That's fancy. Huh. I gotta drop those into place. I'll shove the grommets in there and get those sorted. Okay. Wiggle those in there. Okay. Should be good. Okay. I believe that it's also really astounding how this radio control text changed over the years too. Used to be there was nothing of, well, how do I put that? There was really nothing compact enough to do smaller scale stuff to speak of. You had NiCads, nickel metal hydrides. Just really unforgiving for the smaller scale aircraft. Those were the days, but yeah. Okay. Drop these in place. Actually, it looks like the rubber on these is starting to wear a little bit, but probably just from sitting in the package for so long. Go ahead and pop these together. Okay. There should be enough for all, whoops. Nobody saw that. Yeah, there should be enough for all 4 of them. I may have to borrow a couple of the other horns to finish it. Okay. There's those 2. Let me clear the rest of these off. Stuff off in here. Drop this stuff back in the box. Probably gonna need, let's see, I need 4 more of those, 4 more of these, because I got a servo in the wing I still have to deal with. Let's see, I think. No, I got 2 servos. Okay. Okay, I'll have to have them all. Just shove this stuff to the side. Let me check and see what I've got to do with the wing. Oh gosh. All the covering and stuff peeling off of this. Yeah. For as old as it is, it's in decent condition still. So I can't complain. Yeah. Aside from all the... Okay. Should be able to... Depending on how deep these are embedded in the wing, pop these out rather quick. Probably should have done that first, but still good. I'm actually a little bit low. Bring that up. Okay, pop this off. Oops. I hope that there's enough room to drag this back out without... Oh no. It's going to be a nightmare to fish those back through. There for a second. Oh boy. I don't know if I can fish those back in there without... I can trail some string through there. Worst case. How long are these leads? I don't remember where they go. Check this rather quick. Let's see. Oops. It's only given me 10 inches. I can hang on to it. It's about an 11-inch lead. Yeah. Probably going to need an extension. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get some string. I'll yank through. Don't drop something on this. Keep a spool of string on hand if you ever need to fish cabling through a wing. Let's see if I can. Oops, these scissors are not the best. They work. Okay, maybe I'll push that back down in there. Put that back down. tape off here, initially to keep it from being pulled back through the wing. Tie this on here, then I'll have me a way to recover it and pull the other one back through. If I don't let it slip out of my fingers, and just quickly double knot that. There we go. There's that. I should just be able to yank that out, and it should pull the string through if I don't yank the string all the way out. The hard part's getting it to go through cleanly. Come on. Nearly there. Yeah. There we go. Okay, well, there's one. One down. Go ahead and I made it long enough, it's not really going to matter, so tie it around the other one, or tie it around itself. Stuff it all down in there. Come on, get it out there. Okay. Should be enough to keep it from yanking through. Okay, there's that one. And that means that I can tie one of the other ones on and pull them through. See the orientation of that was, did I want to maintain orientation? Yes. I hate when they roll over like that. Tie it if I'm going to pull it through right away. So, okay. I hope it's long enough. If not, I'll have to put an extension on it. But just loosely tie it so I don't break the cables. And hopefully, whoops, the string to go through there. Yep. When I yank this through, I should be able to bring that through with it. Or that's the theory. It worked great one way, not necessarily going to work so well in the other. Oh yeah, yeah, this back through. Go. This should be the same size as the standard servo. There we go. The other one comes right back out where the other one came in. There it is. Well, it's not come out through the hole backwards. Okay. And there's that. That's one done. Probably the quickest I've ever had to change a servo through a wing, but I'll have to readjust these because these are not going to be right now. Close enough. Should have popped these on first. Slide these grommets on here. Well, the other set went on a little bit easier than this. Get in there. Okay. Yeah, I never actually stuck too many of the decals on the craft itself. I got a little cheap on it. I personally just like plain airframes over all the branding and all the fancy stickers. Yeah. I'm a little strange like that. Okay. what's weird is these grommets, they're angled, or they're cut so the edge of the pass-through for the screw drops into the actually inside the grommet. So you have to kind of wiggle it in and around to get it to drop in place. But it doesn't really have to be perfect anyways, because the screw and the brass through hole will line everything back up. These are dropped in. It should totally put everything back into place. I completely got off track too. I was going to go into some of the stuff for for some upcoming shows and stuff like that. Probably go off on a tangent rather quick and do that. Probably the most recent show that's coming up is the Toledo Show. It's a big model display competition, that kind of thing. They have once a year. That's actually next week, come to think about it. It's April 6th through 6th to the 8th, I believe it is. So that's why I'm in a rush to get all this stuff done. I mean, I probably could have put this off to do the other stuff, but I might as well do this too. So I should have time to do everything as long as I get into it. So drop this one in place. Okay. But yeah, they about the Toledo Show. They, like I said, it's once a year. They probably actually the largest. I think it's the largest show in the U.S. They're up at Seagate, the Seagate Center. They have people to bring in models with so much detail. It's almost mind-blowing. It's scary to see all the effort and the detail they put into a model. It's really something. There was I think there was a guy that 2 years ago he brought in a boat. It was let's see, how did he do that? It was all hand varnished. It was actually all built from scratch. He had hand tapped 20,000 brass rivets, completely all by hand. It just, that kind of detail is just too much. It's too much for me to fathom. But it's a beautiful boat, though. Absolutely beautiful. All the detailing. It's going in real quick and get in there. Okay, should be good. These are all pre-centered, so for Futaba servos, the splines fit exactly. I can drop this back in, and we're good to go again. But yeah, I'll be up at the Toledo Show next week, and I'll bring some, got some stickers and stuff actually I'm going to try to pass out. I'm going to bring in try to bring in some of my more unique stuff for the night flight they're going to have for the first couple days. But yeah, should be a nice experience getting to go back up that way again and see what's changed. See what sort of new stuff people have built. Okay, there's one done. Let's see if I can pull this one loose. Oops. You don't want to get out there. That over there. Okay, let me wrap a string around the other one. See if I can get this little sticker is about to fall apart. Okay. I never did take the string off of this either. Let's see if I can go ahead and get the tape off of here and pull the other one. I've actually got quite a lot of stuff I need to get to tonight too. Still got to get the beast finished and stuff like that. Actually, I probably should reference what exactly I'm talking about. Let me switch over for just a moment. Oh, I just realized something. I forgot to change out the microphone. That's probably why you can't hear anything. Give me 2 seconds. That was an oops on my part. There we go. Okay, we should be good now. Yeah, I forgot to switch it out when the other microphone failed. But yeah, the big red fellow right there, he's going to be... I'm going to take him up to the Toledo Show, get him all set up again, and... see what happens. But yeah, it's got an all-up weight of about 50 pounds thereabouts. So it lets you know it's there when you're trying to carry the thing around for sure. But yeah, it's a treat. Let me switch back to the other one. Oop. There we go. I'll get back into this and get the wing back in place. Disturbing things too much. There we go. Okay, let me see. I've got to get this peeled. But yeah. Yeah, that, and I think really there's really only 3 main events I think I'm going to be messing around with this year. Come to think about it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a treat. Yeah, I think I had everybody worried initially. Oh. I'm gonna have to. It's been a while, so I'm gonna have to do a little memory refresher. But yeah, if I see you up that way this year, if you can make it, I'll catch up with you and stuff too. But it's actually amazing how quickly time goes by. You just lose track of stuff so quickly. It's like, what happened? Go ahead and think. I really don't know if I want to cut that off because I'm afraid it's not going to be long enough to do that with this. I'll just cut me another one. Got 1,000 feet of string or close to it, so just make another one. Yeah. But yeah, I think this year for Flight Fest, I don't know what I'm doing yet exactly. I had plans to, what was it? I was going to build me another Savionis rotor. I was going to at least double the size of the thing. See how that goes. But yeah. Right now it's all debatable. The big deal I've got right now is trying to get the trailer done. The trailer is going to be the thing that's going to kill me. So I've got 3 solar panels to mount to the roof. I've got a couple of decently sized lead acids I'm going to put inside for reserve, so I can have power on site without the noise of a generator and all that good stuff. So yeah, that'll probably be the biggest thing I'll do this year though. Yeah. Drop this in here. Okay. Put this up. And I can always switch out to something else too if this is if this becomes a little monotonous. I'm just quickly switching the servo and I can move on. Okay, so I can yank this out. the other one in its place. Is this? Yeah, this is the other one. Okay. Okay, this is where I'm going to tighten up the. Okay. I'm running off. There we go. Go ahead and tie this in. This is probably one of the best methods I've found for pulling cables. If you got an awkward place that you can't reach, a little bit of string, and you're pretty much set. If you can get the string through initially, might have to tie a counterweight on it or something and drop it down through the wing. But if you got something you can already pull through, it makes it a lot easier. Okay. Let's see, which one is it that I need? It's this one. I hope that doesn't get caught on the spar inside the wing. The hole should be big enough to yank it through. Okay. There's that one. Oops. Actually, I might, if the ground conditions are decent, I might take this up to Flight Fest too, but I'm more worried about keeping it intact, all the foam stuff, and yeah. But we'll see how she goes. Okay. Go ahead and drop the grommets on here. I'm probably running off the, yeah, I'm running out of the viewport. Move over here. Okay. I can drop these in. Alright, that should be it for this though. Once I get this on, I can move on to something else. Get that in here. Okay. Oops. Come on, get in there. Wiggle everything in place. That one. Okay. This one. And one more. That should do it. Okay. Drop the screws in. Okay, almost there. Oops. Well, okay. I don't think throwing hardware at it's gonna get it back together any quicker. So I'll drop this one in, and we should be good to go. Okay, that's solid. That's solid. Where did I put the other screw? Okay. I'll just use the existing horns. They look like they're still... I may have to replace them, but they're okay for now. Okay. Just drop that on the head. Okay. Drop that into place. And we should be good to go. Alright. Okay, the wing's set. Oops. I'll wrap this up, throw it back up there. Yeah. Get up there. Oops. Get up there. Okay. Drop the two servos in the nose, or in the body real quick, and do that. Tail surfaces are always a problem. Okay. I'm assuming I should have room for this. size. Probably got to drill that out just a tiny bit. I'm guessing. Is it? Looks like it's about, yeah. Where are my? I just ran it out with a knife. That would work well enough too. Can't remember which hole that was in. Using the outer one. Yeah. Might put it in a hole. Impromptu replacement for a drill bit. I got a box of them over there. I guess I could have used one, but this is just as easy. Okay. Alright. I gotta remember how these were oriented in here, so I should be able to. Come on, get in there. Oops. Drop this in. Probably have to trim out any inconsistencies in it. Ow, that hurt. Yes. Sharp edges can be a problem. Okay. Let's see. I need something heavy enough to keep this thing from tipping over. Yeah. There we go. So screws. I need my screws. Go ahead and drop these in. That one will be set. I just got to put the clamp on the rod. Secure those. I think the bolts are still in the wing, so okay. I have a tendency to misplace hardware when I've left it for an excessive amount of time. Okay. Almost got it. Oops. There's that. These should still be okay. Drop that down on there and clamp her in place. Besides the opening on. Ah, there we go. That one's set. Yes. Okay. This one is the. Okay. Okay. Let's put this one over here. These out, bringing it down a hole because a little bit more material to bite into, so it doesn't, hopefully doesn't break off. I've never had a servo arm break like that, so put that one in there. Put that one into place. Actually, that one's going the other way. Okay. More effective to put that direction. Okay. So there's servo in here. Come on. Get the rod to pass through. I could have done this with the servo or with the control horn off. I got the hole quite large enough. Fitment's a little bit easier when the hole's actually large enough for the rod to pass through. Well, come on. Come on, get in there. Oh, it's on an angle, that's why. Okay. There we go. Okay. That makes sense. Where did I put that other... Oh, there it is. Just drop this on and clamp it. Put the servo in place and we're done. Okay. There we go. And alright. I do believe that, oops. Okay. these other two screws in, and we will be set. Alright, and there is that. Whoops, where did I slip off the head of the screw? And that's that. I'm surprised that wood's held for so long, actually. Okay. Good. Everything's solid. So. Alright. The only thing I can't do is mount the motor, though, surprisingly. Let's see. I need the screws for the cowl. I'm gonna have to put the cowling back on for now. It's really all I can do with it until I can get the hardware for the motor mount cut and stuff. So I'll probably just leave this one at that for now. And where's my? Yeah, this one's seen a pretty good amount of abuse for its day. Cracks and imperfections in it just from age, and maybe some abuse. See a few small bumps here and there. But drop this on for now. Once I get the motor mount cut, then I can drop the motor in it, get everything set, and she'll be ready to roll. Well, welcome aboard. Kyle, that's always good. Yeah, perfect timing, by the way, actually. Yeah. Gotta remember which screws went into which holes. There were a couple of them that were slightly larger. So this one, and I think it's the two top ones that used a different screw. That's one thing I probably should have paid attention to. But I'm pretty sure it was these that used that. Is that one? Oops. If I could hold on to them, it would be dangerous too, actually. Okay. This one's got two holes for some reason. Apparently one of them's either stripped or something. Okay. 1, 2, 3, one underneath. That's actually started to wear through. I didn't see that. Must be from rubbing against the muffler that was on the previous engine. Well, that's not good. I'm going to have to find another cowl for this thing. There we go. That side's done. Yeah. And I'm assuming that this one goes in this one here. No, this one. Yes. Okay. There's that. 2 to go. Oops. And the bottom one, which I can't see where the hole is. Come on, get in there. And there we have it. Alright. Well, maybe. Okay. And I've got 2 more screws than what I started out with. So I'm assuming either left. Well, that's probably because of the throttle control servo. That aside, that covers this one for now. Where did I put that cap? Still need to have that in there because it looks a little funny with a hole on the top of it. Have to put something in there to wedge it down. Alright, I gotta figure out what I got next. Oops. 2 the only thing I don't like about that microphone. Let's see, did I switch the... Oh, let me change that rather quickly because I forgot to do that. There we go. Okay, so when I switch... Boop. Okay. Yeah, overall. Yeah. She's a bit old, but I'm proud of her. Yeah. Alright, she's ready to receive the motor, so I'll go ahead and hang that back up. And... that anymore either. Okay. I think that takes care of that. So, let's see, what else do I need to clean all this junk off the table now? The other servos, where did I put the other servos? These. I'll use these for something else. Nothing wrong with them in particular. They're old 3004s from 16 years ago. But, yeah. I never did say anything else about this either. As for this, I'm probably... Oops. Get that out of there. Come on. There we go. Yeah. This is probably the newest Futaba radio I've had in hand for a long time. They kept the rotary knob actually from their older radios. Their older C-Series radios. Yeah, brand new in box. It's rather nice. I wonder what this is for. It's got a little dummy cap for what looks like a crystal, but there should be no need for a crystal since it's 2.4 only. Wonder, is it? Yeah, I don't know if it's even. Oh, whoops. Yeah, battery's a little old. But anyways, should be a nice radio to get out and fiddle around with. So I'm going to put this away before. Oops. Before I have a small catastrophe here. Come on, get in the box. There, there we go. Okay. I actually don't even know what the how many model slots there are on a 7C. Come to think about it. I'll have to check into that. I'll probably only use it for my more expensive models anyways. Right. So what do I need to do now? Is there anything in particular anybody wanted to see or have any questions about or anything like that? Perchance? I think actually, come to think about it, it's I don't know. There is one thing I do have to mention, the completely off topic, but this thing. I have actually looked high and low for a sort of three-wheeled vehicle with the two wheels in the front. This is actually the only one that I could find, at least production. It was apparently discontinued. It was discontinued a year or two ago, so I got lucky to find this one. But it's all-wheel drive. It's it's all belt-driven. It's even got a little idler on the drive belt. Not that you can see it too well in there, but they went to a lot of trouble to get this thing nailed just right, but it's always nice to see something different though. So just something to mention on the side. It caught my attention, so that okay. But yeah. And I got a couple of other things I've been working on too. They were actually kits, but I can, I know I'm known for scratch building, but it's like, yeah, I can cheat every once in a while. And they're not necessarily aircraft, but yeah. But get these off the ground without dropping them. There's this thing as well. It's one of Tamiya's latest releases. The T301 chassis. It's actually the Dancing Rider. It's also a trike with 2 in the rear, 1 in the front. This is completely freewheeling. I thought that was neat. It's also self-riding, so if you do tip over, the arm on the side will push you back up level again. Really clever design. Heck, I even managed to get the face painted decently well. That's kind of an odd thing to deal with. Usually faces are a nightmare when you're trying to paint them by hand. But it's a neat little vehicle though. So I should probably turn it this way. There we go. But yeah, I even put it comes with a bracket to put a couple LEDs in for headlights. I stuck some lights in there for extra effect. But it's one of the few designs that really caught my attention out of the gate. They just released them late last year, I believe, December or so. Even comes with a little stand so you don't wear out the front spring. And then another honorable mention. This thing, aside from the clip system on the bottom of this thing that won't stay on, this is one of Kyosho's ground vehicles. The NSR 500, I believe. But this one's notable for having an actual tilt shift system, weight shift. The rider actually shifts back and forth. It's kind of neat. No gyro. It's all chain driven, which is a little unusual for something of that type, but yeah, I thought that was neat too. I managed to somehow, actually, in terms of detail, I managed to wrap the little seat plate in vinyl, that leather textured vinyl. That turned out a lot nicer than I thought it would. Yeah. But, yeah, as for everything else, I've got a lot of stuff on my plate that I've got to really get into and get finished. I'm always in over my head. Probably not the best way to deal with things, but I always have about 20 projects more than I can keep up with, and then I end up not getting any of them done. So, but yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, didn't need that in there. It has been an interesting day for sure. So I've got these. Oh, that was another thing too. Before I forget, there's another event actually. The RC Sailors are putting on a event pretty soon. Set for June, RCS Fest. Oops, there we go. Yeah, tongue-tied. Yeah, they're gonna have it during the Father's Day weekend. I got to see a little sneak peek of what's going on. I can't reveal any details, but it looks like it's gonna be an absolutely amazing experience if you get a chance to. Actually, I probably should have put that in the description. Come to think about it, but you can Google it. You can find information online and stuff. They're having it at the Benton County Airport in Ohio. got a mile-long airport, so or a mile-long runway, so there's plenty of room to stretch your legs, so to speak. But it should be fun overall. So here's the mess. But yeah. I think. What else am I forgetting? Aside from that and Flight Fest, which I think they released the information on that already. I'm not too sure. What's that? Oh, which one? Let me. Oh, that one. Assuming this one. Oh. Oops. This chain. I don't know why I chain these up like this. It gets tangled around this. This one? Yeah. Is this the one you were referring to, by the way? This actually has a funny story behind it. So yeah, I think I've got some of the original drawings and stuff. If you want, you can contact me, and I can. My Facebook page has like a chat and stuff like that. I can always drop you the some of the design stuff there if you want to try to put one together and stuff. There's really not much to it. I mean, this is just a full symmetrical foil. I just cut out a 2-inch thick piece of foam, wool foam. The wings, I've got the airfoil template. I'll have to do some digging to find to get that, but I actually had to reinforce these with a wood plate because the wingtips get torn off every time you touch down. That's always a treat. But you got, let's see, I put 20 degrees of sweep both directions, 20 degrees both ways, and I put 20 degrees of dehedral both ways. That was a treat to measure out and cut, but it turned out okay, I will have to say. And my linkages are rusting. That's how long I've left it down here without doing anything with it. Let me see. I think let me move this over rather quickly. Move all this stuff out of the way again. Yeah. That, and this. Let me go to the overhead. Oops. And oops. There we go. Should be able to do that. There we go. Yeah, there's really, like I said, not much to it. Like I said, though, if you're interested in stuff, just drop me a PM on my Facebook page and stuff. I'll sneak you some of the design stuff that way. So, yeah. This one actually did have a little bit of a nasty crack up. It was kind of funny on launch, actually. I kind of got bit when I tossed the thing. It flailed out of my hand. I ended up snapping it in half and tearing my knuckles up. Well, not my knuckles, but you can't see the scars that well now, but yeah, it got me pretty good. But I survived, so yeah. Yep, no problem. So. Okay. Yeah, aside from getting the rest of the just getting the beast done and getting some of the smaller stuff done, I should be ready to go for next week. I think that will cover everything. Yeah, actually, if anybody's able to make it too. Oops. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember who you are now. Okay. Yeah. That's been a long time. Yeah, the flight characteristics are actually kind of unique, but get a little Dutch roll because of the way the, I don't know if it's, can't really say if it's Dutch roll, but there's a little bit of, I guess you say adverse yaw in the roll because of the deflection of the control surfaces. But, or adverse, proverse, my terms get mixed up. But yeah, it definitely, once you get it up, it doesn't want to come back down. Especially when you're low to the ground. Ground effect, you get a cushion of air under the wings when you get close to the ground. Well, within, I think it's roughly third to half of the span of the wing. And yeah, until you slow down enough to be able to do that, you kind of tend to want to coast. Well, kind of like a cratoplan, like the old ground effect vehicles. Yeah. I think I'm starting to get a little loopy, so mind me if I start saying random and unrelated things. But and then put a bay on top. The screws need. Yeah, it's a little roughed up. Bay on top, everything's inside. So. It just threads down, you're ready to go. Battery goes in the bottom, if I remember correctly. Not super well done, but it will suffice. This was actually going to be for landing gear, and I never did do anything with it, so it's just been a random piece of wood bolted to the bottom of it ever since I've had it out. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff for sure. Gotta get my other wings and stuff out. It's been so long since I've been able to get my other wings out. Actually, I probably should be getting ready to wrap it up because I've got. Yes. But yeah, I think I left all my social media stuff down in the description too. If anybody does need to contact me, or if anybody has any interest in anything, or like the designs and all that, and or tips for tweaking airframes, I'd be glad to help with stuff like that too. So it's always good. The awkward pause before you, like before you forget to mention something. Okay. I think I probably should wrap up for now, though. I've been down here for quite a bit longer than I thought I would have been, because I actually thought I was going to cover more, but I got distracted, then I just went off in a random direction, but yeah. Like I said, it's been fun, so like I said, I'll be out at, like I said, Toledo RCS Fest, and most likely Flight Fest again. I'll have to check to see if there's anything else scheduled, but if I don't catch it before then, I'll catch you at one of those events. So, or I'll, if you see me out, give me a holler. So, all right. I think I'm going to wrap the stream up for now, though. It's definitely been fun. Been nice to down here and get some stuff done and kind of go through some of the intricacies of some of my little wings and stuff like that. So, oh, Kando. Yeah, we're actually just getting ready to wrap up, but depending on what I have to do, if the stream is automatically saved, you'll be able to go back and see everything. But if not, I'll re-upload it if it allows me to do so. Oh, hey. You caught me off guard. Well, honestly, I've always, the traditional bicopter, there's been problems with the just the overall stability of the layout. The let me pull up grab one of my older deals off the wall here. This is actually one of the early prototypes, but I'll move the wing off for a minute. That'd be a good place to put that down there. Should be okay. But yeah, I've actually had to disassemble some of it for parts for other things, but I'll put this back together eventually. Let me get in a little close here and whoops. There we go. But yeah, traditional bicopters, they move on the pitch axis is this way. So you're dealing with gyroscopic precession for one. You do get your forward momentum going. It gets to a point where it can't. I don't know how to explain this and make it sound. You're basically fighting your forward airspeed. Once you get to a certain speed, it'll begin to pitch back. But that was the main problem I had with these. Unless you drop your center of weight really low, it becomes a huge problem. Your airspeed's limited greatly by it. But yeah, I've always just wanted to just kind of improve on the design, make it better, make it more stable. That was the goal. Yeah. That's where these came in. There we go. That's with these. I doubled off on the motors just for the sake of increased power and torque cancellation. But the biggest difference is pitch stability. You no longer have issues with pitch stability. Your pitch is on this axis instead of this axis. That's pretty much, really not too much to it. But your forward speed's practically almost unlimited depending on the power of your motors. But yeah. But yeah, I've always just been fascinated with how they actually more fascinated with their flaws, I think, than anything. Yeah, the fun part is actually finding those problems and finding a good solution for them. So. But yeah. But I'm pretty happy with the design overall. So. Yeah, I think that was the main problem with this one here too, because my center of weight was not low enough, so I still had some issues with it. But yeah. But yeah. But yes, I'll have these up at all the events I'm going to too. I'll have the yellow one, I'll have the smaller one, and I will have, I don't know if the 900's a little bit of a hassle to move around. It's buried in the back there. Yeah. I can do that. Oh gosh, too much stuff. Yeah, the 900's kind of the bigger brother. But I'll have this one probably with me too, depending. But oops, it's so big I don't really have room to maneuver it. But yeah, same setup. Only difference is I set this one up to carry 3 batteries in parallel. But, yeah. or up to 3. But yeah. Don't know why I never bothered to finish this one. A little bit of paint would have made it look nicer, but yeah. Bare wood's good too. Just go out of the way. Oop. Let's see. That one. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, I've always just loved the layout. Loved the challenges that they kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I hope it was decently coherent, but yeah. But yeah, I'll bring this with me to RCS Fest too. So I'll let you, if you're gonna be up that way, you'll get a first hand look at them and stuff. So yeah. Oh gosh, whew, it's actually getting late. What time is it? I got my clock covered up by everything else. I've actually been going for 2 hours now. That's not too bad. So yeah, I really need to start grinding down and recording some videos along the way, explaining how some of this stuff works too, because I've really been slacking. But the main thing is my nerves. My nerves tend to get in the way 99% of the time. But I'm getting there. Getting there. Fingers crossed. Okay. Alright, I probably should go ahead and wrap up the stream. It is getting late. I'm gonna go ahead and get some other stuff. Well, I gotta get all this stuff cleaned up and stuff and get the rest of those brackets mounted. That's actually one thing I didn't. I don't know if I can get that one out. Oh gosh. That's probably too much to get to. Yeah, I can always pull that one out at a later time. It's buried underneath everything, but all right. But like I said, it's been fun. Hope the stream was all right. So everything seems to have turned out decently well. Yeah. If I don't see you anytime soon, I will catch you at one of the events or something like that. So, oops. Yeah, it's all laser cut, by the way. All the balsa and the ply and stuff like that. I got a laser that I cut my stuff on. Also, good night, no kando. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, having a laser is an extremely handy thing. But not without its shortcomings or pitfalls. It saved me a whole lot of struggle, let's put it that way. You can cut things far more precise than I could possibly ever do by hand. Best part of all, it's repeatable too. So, most definitely. I never installed the lights in this thing either. I need to do that. That's good. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm good for now, though. All right. I think I should go ahead and wrap up the stream, though. It actually has been 2 hours. That's a pretty long time for that. So, it's been nice catching up with everyone as well. So, like I said, I'll catch everyone out at one of the events or somewhere along the way. Yeah, I will catch everyone later, though. Thanks again for watching and all that good stuff. So, Let's see. Now the next question. Where's the... being a first time, I'm not actually sure how to kill it. I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, first time. There's a first time for everything. Okay. Alright, I'll catch everyone later, though. Until we next meet.